Hi guys, this is Steffanie. Welcome to Stephanie's Journey. For those of you who are here for the very first time, welcome. And for those of you returning, welcome back. If you have not been here before, I would love to have you as part of the Stephanie's Journey's family. Just click on that subscribe button below, as well as the notification bell beside that. Don't forget to click on that all on that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos in the near future. Today I am doing a chocolate chip pecan vegan cookie. And a lot of you tried the oatmeal raisin cookie and loved it, so this is just as good. So if you're interested in seeing how I make that, then stick around and stay tuned. Okay guys, let's go through what I have as far as my ingredients for my, and as always I will link it in the description box below, so please be sure to check the description box if you want to see the full ingredient list. But I have 1 cup of oatmeal. It's not quick, it's just regular oatmeal. And I have here 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 stick, which is a 1/2 cup of vegan butter. I have here 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of pink Himalayan sea salt. I also have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I have 2 tablespoons of almond milk. I have a 1/4 cup of raw sugar in the raw. I have a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 cup of chopped pecans, and 1 cup of vegan chocolate chips. So this is all you need for your recipe. So what I'm going to do is move some of this over to the side, because we all know that I am super clumsy and I always make a mess. So, and then work on putting everything into the bowl for you guys. So I'm going to start off with the sugars. So that's my brown sugar and my raw cane sugar, and I'm going to whip it together with my butter. And I put my butter because this vegan butter, if you sit it out, to me it never likes to get soft, so I put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to soften it up a little bit. And that's my oven is ready. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I always forget to tell you that, but I put it on the screen. But preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, about 180 Celsius if you're not in the US. So I always like to start, if I remember, to mix my sugar and butter first, as you should, but sometimes I don't, I forget and mix it out of order. But really, I don't really think it matters as much as people say it does, but whatever. Just helps the sugar to dissolve much better. But I like kind of, when I cook my cookies, to have the sugar chunks in it, but that's just my personal preference. So I add in my milk, which again is 2 tablespoons of almond milk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I make my own vanilla extract now. And if I've done a video, but I don't know which is going in which order, but if I have, I'll link that above as well. Again, a 1/2 teaspoon of Himalayan sea salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder. Mix that in there really well. And for my cookies, I like to cook them on a silicone mat. It just works better for me, but you can cook it on parchment paper or however you choose and see fit. But that's how I like to cook mine. So I have a cookie sheet, and I'm going to put these silicone mats. So this is all-purpose flour. I'm going to go ahead and mix all of that in there. Since it's not that much of it, should be okay. And sometimes I have to add a little bit more liquid to it, because, you know, sometimes my measurements are not exact, because I just scoop it out the bag. But as far as my flour is concerned, but sometimes I have to add a little bit more liquid to it. But you don't want it running, because they're cookies. And if you want less than this will make, I don't know, depends on how big you want your cookies. So I usually try to make about 9 cookies at a time. This probably make about 16. This is double the batch for what I usually make, but I have somebody to help me eat them, so I'm making a little bit more. And if you don't want oats in your chocolate chip cookies, I just like using oats because to me it's a little bit more nutritious. But if you don't, you can use all flour. But I like oats in mine. It's just a personal preference. But you do not have to use oats in yours. You can use all flour. I would say the same ratio, maybe. Maybe 1.5 cup of flour. I don't know because I never made it that way. But I'm just thinking probably that will probably be a good ratio. You just want the batter to be thick enough, whereas you can roll it. You don't want it runny because your cookies will not keep its form and they will spread and be flat, and I'm not into flat cookies. I like my cookies a little dense and I like them soft. And you can, if you don't like nuts, or if you don't like pecans and you want walnuts or almonds or whatever, I just like with the pecans. I used to be a huge fan of the, what was his name, the little man, Famous Amos chocolate chip and pecan cookies. Oh my god, they were hard cookies, but I freaking loved them. I'm gonna save a little bit because I always like put a little on the top when I finish as well. And like I said when I made my oatmeal raisin cookies, that you can freeze these, which I do a lot if I make a big batch. So sometimes I make a big batch, sometimes I make a small batch, but I roll them up in the balls and then I put them in a freezer safe container in each individual balls, and I roll them up and put the lid on them, and I put them in the container and put them in the freezer. So if I just want a cookie or two, I just pull them out and bake them in my toaster oven, so I don't bake a bunch of them and then, you know, eat them all at once and have my sugar up. So if you want less, if you don't like your cookies chocolatey, don't put as many chocolate chips. I love a lot of chocolate chips in my cookie. So if you don't like that, you can use less chocolate chips. That is completely up to you. Like I tell you all the time, it's your kitchen, you cook how you want to. This is my kitchen, I cook how I want to cook. So I like a lot of chips and I like oats in mine. So I'm going to pull out my little handy dandy thing. I need new, well, I don't know. This stuff don't come off. I try to get it off, don't come off. But make sure your hands are clean. And if you like more nuts, put more nuts. But I just use half the amount of nuts that I do chocolate chips. And I roll them into balls. And I like my cookies kind of big. As I say, I don't like the little cookies, but you do you. And I usually just put 9 of them on my little sheet, and the rest of them I put in the freezer. I don't have any self-control with sweets. And you just roll them up really good and put them on the sheet. And they're very buttery. And like I said, if you want less than these, then half the recipe. If you want more, then double it, triple it, quadruple it, whatever. I don't know how big your family is. I don't have children, so I don't be making a whole bunch of cookies and then I be having to eat them all and be in a diabetic coma around here eating all that sugar. But you can measure these out if you want to. I'm not into that. I don't care if they're not the same size. I just make them round, pretty much close to the same size, and call it a day. Not that anal. I'm anal, but not that anal. Might not need those chocolate chips. Sometimes when I roll them out and don't see any, I just try to move them enough so I can get 9 on here. Because for some reason I just like to make 9 cookies. And I hope they don't run together. There we go. And that is my 9 cookies. And the rest of these I'm going to roll up into balls and put them in a oven safe dish. I mean freezer safe dish. So we'll be back after we cook them for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, while we wait on those, I'm gonna roll these out so I can see exactly how many they have at this size. And I didn't use them other chocolate chips, but I'll just put them back in the bag. Eat it for you. I think it'll make about 16 cookies, maybe. At the size I make them. You make them smaller, you probably can get about 24 if you're making them bite-sized, a little smaller ones. Yeah, most likely not. We're just going to get 14, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just based on how big you roll them. So, I take a container and I just put them in there, just like so, and put the top on them and stick them in the freezer. And that's it. So, I'll be back once the cookies finish. I'm going to put the top on these and put them in the freezer. So, stay tuned. Okay, my cookies look like they are done to come out. So, I'm going to bring them out. They look so delicious. You can tell, see how they're a little brown around the edges. Don't mind my fan. This new type of oven here, so it makes all that freaking noise. And I'm going to take them over here, put them on the stove, and then I'm going to put them on my cooling rack and let them cool for a little while. But they look awesome. I don't have my light on. Let me turn my light on, see if that makes it better. My stove, don't mind it, it's filthy, I need to clean it. But it's just the right amount of cookies and the right, I mean not cookies, chocolate chips, and the right amount of nuts. So let me put them on here. Let me shut this oven. They're all there waiting to cool. And we'll let them cool for about 5-10 minutes, and then we'll do a taste test. So stay tuned. Okay guys, now it is time for the taste test. I'm going to break it apart, let you guys see it on my B-roll. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? They look freaking delicious. They're oily because, you know, all the butter, but, you know. And if you're not vegan, you can use regular butter or regular chocolate chips. Same recipe. No eggs. Pretty and brown on the bottom. Crispy on the outside. Chewy. Moist on the inside. Freaking. I don't know what to say. All I can tell you, make you some. Make you some. If you are a cookie lover like me, and we all know I don't have no business eating no cookies, no bread, nothing. Look at that. Nothing starchy, nothing. Oh my God. Focus. There we go. Look at that. Now I'm back on me. These cookies are delicious. Now, I can't even talk. That's how good they are. Like I said, I leave a link below, up here and down there, for the oatmeal raisin cookies. If you like those, that recipe is good. This recipe is good. Descriptions below of everything I use in the recipe. I also put it on the screen. People always say, what's in it? Okay, I put everything on the screen and I link it below. Watch the video or read. One of the two. Pick. I'm not going to come back in and tell you what's in the recipe. If you put that in a message below my video, I'm going to be like, it was in the video and it's below. Read or watch. Can't get no simpler than that, people. And I make my videos step by step so you can watch it and make it at the same time. But anyway, thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Happy New Year again to everybody, because it's still January if I haven't seen you this year. And please thumbs up the video. If you try the cookies and you like it, please let me know. Share it with others, because just don't tell them it's vegan. cookies don't have to have eggs in it. People be thinking they do. You don't have to put eggs in it. Just send them the recipe and be like, here, try it. They the bomb. Eat them. So yeah, thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Again, like, comment, and share. Trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, you keep watching my videos and you haven't subscribed, why? It's free. Just click the button. Click that little red subscribe button. If it's still red, you haven't subscribed. If it's not red, then you have. And I thank you for watching my videos. And I look forward to seeing you all in my very next video. Bye-bye. That's so good. I probably should have put 1 cup of pecans. Really, I should have. That's so good. Bye.